Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to our Drainage District Board of Directors meeting posted for today, April the 10th, 2018. Present are Commissioner Fuentes, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, again, we give you much thanks for just everything that you do in our lives, Lord. Thank you for this great day that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for the fresh rain, Lord. Just continue to lift this elected board, the judge and commissioners that you've appointed to lead this great county, Lord. Continue to bless them, Lord. Provide them with your wisdom, Lord. Provide them with your son's peace as they make the decisions, Lord, that affect us all, Lord. I just continue to ask for your wisdom as well for myself, Lord, for all our staff in this great county. Just for all the leaders in this great county, Lord. We continue to pray for our country, Lord. Pray for all our leaders of our country, Lord, as well. We continue to lift up those that are battling illnesses, especially those that are within the Dow County and the Drainage District family, Lord. We lift them up to you. Put your healing hand on them. Give your peace, Lord, to their families as they deal with these difficult decisions that they have to make, Lord, and just these times that they're dealing with, Lord. Again, we just give you much thanks, Lord, for the opportunity that you give us today to come serve. And it's in your Son, Jesus' name, that I pray. Amen.
Under open forum, did anyone sign up?
Yes, sir.
I got it.
We do have 3 participants for open forum. I will remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There is a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute left. Our first speaker is Mr. Jaime Salazar.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This week, the district is celebrating its 110-year anniversary. On behalf of the Drainage District and Mr. Raul Cecin, I'd like to cordially invite the board to join us and our staff this Friday for a celebration luncheon. It'll be at the District Yard at 902 North Doolittle at 11:30 a.m. this Friday. I have one more item. I also wanted to advise the board that Mr. Cecin was invited by a citizens group, McAllen Futuro, to do a presentation on projects that affect the McAllen area. Mr. Cecin will be accepted the invitation and will be doing the presentation tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the McAllen Library. Thank you.
Our second participant is Mr. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Alberta Ramírez.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Alberta Ramírez y vengo de la colonia Guasacres en Edinburgh. En esta mañana estoy aquí para darle las gracias a mi comisionado Palacios y a Mr. Cecin por haber atendido al problema que tenía en mi colonia de drenaje y en varias colonias cerca de la mía, que yo he visto el proceso que hemos tenido en el drenaje, que hemos estado insistiendo aquí varias veces para lo del drenaje. Y quiero darle las gracias por haber atendido al problema ese del drenaje en mi colonia. Y también quisiera una vez más darles un recordatorio de que queremos que nos pongan traductor en las cortes, ¿verdad? Porque para saber de qué se está tratando, qué se está llevando a cabo. Y eso es todo lo que vengo a darles gracias y mi petición. Gracias, que Dios los bendiga.
Good morning. My name is Alberta Ramirez. I come from Owasso Acres and Precinct 4. I come here to give thanks to my commissioner, Joseph Palacios, and also to Mr. Raul Cecin for responding to the needs of our community, our colonia, who had drainage problems. And thank you to the commissioner for responding and address the issues in my colonia and the colonia surrounding my colonia. I also wanted to remind you that we're asking for translation in this court, in these meetings, because we wanted to be understanding what you're talking about. It relates to us, and we would like to remind you that we're still waiting for you to provide translations for us, at least in the drainage meeting. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Our last participant is Ms. Marta Sanchez.
I'm not a translator now.
I'm sorry, you translate, okay.
No, now I wanted to Good morning. I'm Marta Sanchez, and I'm not a translator now. I'm Guadalupe Puentero. Hopefully, one of these days, I'm not going to be needing to translate this because I do not want to be translator here. I just wanted to thank the Commission and publicly also thank our DA, Ricardo Rodriguez. We just finished our march that we had on Saturday, and for some of you who supported our march, we got over close to 1,000 people in our march to celebrate the birthday of our great leader, Cesar Chavez. And so I just wanted to thank all of you who supported that in some way or the other, but also just a great thanks to the DA, because he did send representation, and that was a really good event. You missed it. You missed a great thing, and hopefully next year you can join us, because it was a very it was a super great event. We had a great participation. We had a lot of communities participating, and so anyway, if you did not make it, we hope that you make it next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Is that it, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Any concerns with the consent agenda, sir?
No, sir. None that I'm aware of.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Item 5.
Thank you. Request and acceptance and approval of work authorization number 3 in the amount of $27,000 as submitted by LNG Consulting Engineers, Inc. to provide right-of-way acquisition administration and related services through award contract engineering service contract number CHCDD 1-17-014-0627 for Dow County Drainage District number 1 Delta Regional Water Management Project, subject to legal review and compliance with Form HB 1295.
Approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 18C as it relates to the J09 project and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents pending final legal review.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements on Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024.84 for professional services.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval for the district to negotiate a professional real estate appraisal and/or appraisal review service contract with Leon Garza Jr. and Associates LLC from the district's pre-approved pool of qualified appraisers for the provision of professional real estate appraisal services and/or appraisal review services for, on an as-needed basis, Dow County Drainage District number 1.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements of Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024.84, professional service.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Requesting approval for the district to negotiate a professional real estate appraisal and/or appraisal review service contract with Appraisal House from the district's pre-approved pool of qualified appraisers for the provision of professional real estate appraisal services and/or appraisal review services for, on an as-needed basis, Dow County Drainage District number 1.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting approval to purchase one 2018 new John Deere 210G excavator, including extended warranty, in the total amount of $159,669.10 from Doggett Machinery Services Houston, awarded vendor through the ACD number 1 membership participation with buy board contract number 515-16, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Commissioner Flores, just if you recall, we had bought one of your excavator John Deere's, worked out really well for us, and that one had actually a short boom and a long boom. So what we've done, we're buying the actual machine, and we're going to use the long boom now and put it in action, so that way we continue to maintain both the machines operable and just continue to do our maintenance and operation of our drainage system. So yes, we've really been very happy with that machine, so it worked out well for us.
It was almost new when you got it, so.
Yes, sir. No, it's done really well for it. That John Deere is very good.
Yeah.
We've been very happy with it. Number 9, requesting approval to purchase 3 modern 15-foot Predator mowers from HMV Equipment Services, Inc. through the Dow County Drainage District number 1 membership participation with buy board award contract number 52917. The total amount of $47,434.67, including installation, 1-year full mower warranty.
Move approved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
And following that same theme, these are actually attachments, implements for 3 tractors that we purchased from Precinct 1 that we're putting back into service and making sure that we keep our maintenance operation moving on drain ditches. So we're definitely looking for to work with the precincts on anything that they may have available, where it's construction or implement anything like that, to take over the district, because we do have a lot of work in front of us. So that's what these are for. So item 10, A, certificate of substantial completion from Texas Cordia LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-17-026-0627 Lucero del Norte subdivision.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, application for payment number 5 in the amount of $10,141.20 for Texas Cordia Construction, Inc., pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-17-026-0627 Lucero del Norte subdivision.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, recommending bid award and approval to issue purchase order to Rio Valley Pipe LLC, DBA Kappa, the sole responsible bidder, meeting all requirements specifications for the advertised RFP number ACDD 1-18-016-0404, purchase of precast box culverts, 8-foot, 10-foot, and 12-foot span, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12, in accordance with Water Code section, no action on that. We'll move to closed session. We do have some items in closed section.
Pursuant to Texas Government Code sections 551071 and 551072, I need a motion to proceed to executive session.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We will be in executive session for a short while.
We should have someone here.
We're back in open session.
Thank you, Judge. Open session for item 14A, real estate acquisition, will proceed as directed. 15B, NC will proceed as directed as well. No action.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. This time we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, posted for today, April the 10th, 2018. Present are Commissioner Fuentes, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, inspire us today with the qualities of good leadership. Give insight to make wise decisions, integrity to face the truth, courage to make difficult choices, and compassion for the needs of others. Make us a model of justice and honor to the world, and let us not forget that our job is to serve both you and others. Amen.
Amen. On our consent agenda, any concerns?
Yes, Judge. If we can pull item 3A, 9A and B, and 10I.
Motion to approve the rest of the consent.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, on 3A, requesting no action. On 9A and B, for the record, that Commissioner Fuentes has abstained. And 10I, I'll defer to Marty.
Yes, the agenda item should read, approval of payment on invoice number 18A1 in the amount of $33,978 submitted by Alpha Infrastructure Engineering, P. LLC, in connection with the engineering services provided under contract C18060-02-20, not 02. Work authorization 1 for Gonzalez Road project.
So moved.
Okay, we need to take the individual items separately. So we need to take 9A and B first, and then take 10I.
So I make a motion to approve 9A and B.
Right. And then Commissioner Fuentes abstain.
Abstaining from this. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Move to approve 10I. Second. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Julia Sullivan with the Public Affairs Office, presenting for Hidalgo County Judge Ramon Garcia on item 5A. It's a resolution opposing the citizenship question in the 2020 census. Whereas Hidalgo County, one of the most populous counties in the state of Texas, is currently ranked by the Census Bureau as the 7th most populous of 254 counties in the state. And whereas Hidalgo County has historically faced undercounts and other challenges during the census process and has made great strides to overcome those challenges with the 2020 Census Coalition Committee. And whereas even with alternative enumeration processes and messaging, properly recording Hidalgo County's population has proven challenging. And whereas an internet-based census, Census Bureau funding shortage, and the anti-immigrant rhetoric all pose new challenges for our region. And whereas a greater challenge has now been imposed by adding a citizenship question to the census questionnaire. And whereas the constitutional mandate is that all people residing in the United States be counted. And whereas a citizenship question is not necessary nor beneficial for the census process and will be costly and ineffective. And whereas a citizenship question will deter residents from responding and negatively affect our region's congressional, state, and local representation, as well as funding for programs and infrastructure vital for our community's continued development. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby opposes inclusion of a citizenship question in the 2020 census and urges Congress and the administration to remove the citizenship question from the 2020 census form. Approved this 10th day of April, 2018.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
And joining us are some representatives from the Judges Census Coalition, and they are representing the Equal Voice Network, Christina Holt, who will be saying a few words, and also Desi Romero from Congressman Vicente Gonzalez's office, and Marta Vasquez from the Lupe organization. Ron Garza, the executive director of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, sent his regrets that the GLO's in town, so he needs to be with them. Let me pass it on to Christina.
Before you make any statements, I wanted to make one statement. This is a very basic issue. Our government divides up all of the entitlement funds based on population. And under our Constitution, everyone that is residing in this country needs to be counted. It doesn't say only citizens. It talks about anyone because of the entitlement funds. We're talking about funds related to education, health care, Medicare, Medicaid, housing, nutrition programs such as school lunch, roads, the CHIPS programs, Head Start, programs like that. For every person that is not counted, we lose out on $1,578 according to our congressman. That's $15,780 per person per decade. That's 157 million plus per 10,000 people per decade. And we have been undercounted in 2000. We have been undercounted in 2010. And we want to make sure that we have a strong voice to avoid any undercounting in 2020. If we're looking at a 50,000 undercount, we're talking about somewhere between 750 million and $1 billion. Those are monies that will be lost to the area, and that's why we feel so strongly about it. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Cristina Patino-Hull, and I represent the Equal Voice Network of the Rio Grande Valley. We're a coalition of 8 nonprofits representing over 300,000 individual members, and some of our partner organizations are here with us today. The county judge's historical knowledge on the importance of the census has been critical in the process of preparing for the 2020 census. Equal Voice Network has been working closely with the county judge's office to prepare for an accurate count in 2020, and our collaborative efforts have been recognized for the first time. There will be an area census office placed in Hidalgo County scheduled to open in 2019. Yet despite our continued efforts to strive for an accurate count of the region, many major challenges lay ahead, including the addition of the citizenship question on the census. The census is the largest peacetime undertaking of the federal government, and it is constitutionally mandated, as the judge pointed out, that all individuals, regardless of race, income, and immigration status, are counted. The inclusion of the citizenship question is expected to further exacerbate the historical undercounting of Latinos, and today represents not just a victory for our region, but also a victory for democracy. We want to applaud Judge Garcia and the Assistant Chief of Staff, Erica Reyna, for their leadership on the census, and thank the Commissioner's Court for modeling how at the regional level and local level we can embody the principles of democracy that this country was built upon, even when those values are being challenged at the federal level. Thank you.
And Marta Sanchez, by the record, not Vasquez. And instead of me saying something, I wanted to pass my time to a member of our organization who was here counting in 2010 as a volunteer walking the streets and trying to get this count. And I want her to tell a little bit about what this question means to this community.
Buenos días, mi nombre es María Romero y vengo representando a mi comunidad de la colonia Iowa Garden. En el 2010 participé como voluntaria para apoyar y hacer el conteo del censo. Tuvimos problemas con la comunidad ya que era un poco problema para poder contar a las personas porque no querían dar toda su información. Ahora esta pregunta en el censo creo que va a ser un gran problema para que la gente se pueda hacer contada, ya que esta palabra crea el temor y el miedo al dar su información. Mi comunidad se opone para que poder contestar la información que pide el censo para el 2020.
My name is Maria Romero, and I live in La Colonia, Iowa Garden. And in 2010, I volunteered to get my community counted. And so we know that it was already a problem in 2010 for people to have the confidence to give their private information, especially people who might lack the documentation to be legally here. So we know that with this question is going to be a problem for my community. So we oppose this question because we know that that's going to make it even more difficult for people to participate in the census, and we will not have an accurate count. So that's why I'm here, just to voice my opinion, our opposition to this question of citizenship.
Okay, and before you take a picture, please, with Commissioner's Court. Christina, do you have the proclamation?
item 6.
Okay. Item 6A under our district attorney's office, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr., and may I ask him to come on up along with his staff. Item 6A is a proclamation declaring National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and that week is April 8th through the 14th, 2018. And I'll begin reading, if you don't mind, as we wait for our Honorable District Attorney to join us. Whereas Americans are victims of 20 million crimes each year affecting individuals and communities, and whereas years of investment in crimes victims' rights and services have developed a system of victim response that can help victims recover from crime, and whereas reaching and serving all victims of crime is essential to supporting thriving communities, because those who receive holistic services and support are more likely to remain invested in their communities. And whereas engaging a broader array of healthcare providers, community leaders, faith organizations, educators, and businesses can provide new links between victims and services that improve their safety, healing, and access to justice. And whereas many victims face barriers such as isolation, distrust of authorities, language limitations, lack of transportation, or cultural barriers that keep them from accessing the services and criminal justice systems that can help them recover from crime. And whereas the National Crime Victims' Rights Week provides an opportunity to recommit to ensuring that all victims of crimes, especially those who are challenging to reach and to serve, are afforded their rights and receive a trauma-informed response. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office is hereby dedicated to strengthening victims and survivors in the aftermath of crime, building resilience in our communities and our victims' responders, and working for justice for all victims and survivors. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the week of April 8th to April 14th, 2018 as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Hidalgo County, approved this 10th day of April 2018.
Move approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And I'd like to invite our distinguished Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. to join us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
We sincerely, again, on behalf of all of us here, not only from our office, but every agency, every prosecutor, every administrator, every individual that has something to do with giving services, the best services that we can to victims. And we have to commend you and thank you because it started here. It started back in 2015 when we came before you to create the Crime Victims Unit. And what you've done is you've created all this. You've created a Crime Victims Unit in Hidalgo County. You've created victims, liaisons in Cameron County, in the Rio Grande Valley, in the state of Texas. So we've been able to create this big team here, not only in Hidalgo County, but all over the Rio Grande Valley and also in the state of Texas. This is where it started. And because of your support, because of your cooperation, we have many individuals that are on board, again, assuring to make sure that we give access, the proper access that every victim and every family deserves. Not because we just want to, but because by law we're supposed to. And after we put in front of us that by law it is our duty and responsibility, we have many individuals that are standing here because they care. It comes from their heart to be able to provide these services to all these individuals, unfortunately. But fortunately, we have the support from you all. Again, we've been able to create a great team. Again, not only in our office as crime victims advocates or our unit, but also prosecutors. We've been able to create a great team to be able to put these bad individuals away that create these egregious offenses, egregious crimes against victims and their families. But at the same time, you've given us the opportunity to create a team where we will continue to serve, again, not only Hidalgo County, but the whole Rio Grande Valley and the whole state of Texas. And I want to tell you that since the inception of 2015 of our crime victims unit, now there's 32 crime victim liaisons and victim advocates and system-based victim services in Hidalgo County. And they comprise the Hidalgo County Crime Victim Liaison Unit. We have our unit, there's 11. We have the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, there's 1. Hidalgo County Community Supervision Corrections Department. We have Sullivan City PD, Peñitas PD, Palmview PD, Mission PD, McAllen, FAR PD, San Juan, Hidalgo, Edinburgh, Weslaco, Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Department of Criminal Justice Victim Services Division, Homeland Security Investigations, Immigration Customs Enforcement Voice, Federal Bureau of Investigations, and the U.S. Border Patrol. Again, all this because victims deserve great services from us, and we've been able to do that. So on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for your cooperation, and again, for your full support in helping victims. I also want to mention and recognize Weslaco PD Chief Joel Rivera, who's here. Thank you for being. And Delfina Salazar. From Sullivan PD, we have Cynthia Garza, who's also here. Peñitas PD, Mayra Garza. Hidalgo PD, Sujei Robledo. Mission PD, Diana Macias. Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, Armando Garza. Representative from MAD, Anna Verley. Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, Science. Rio Grande Valley Families and Friends of Murdered Children. SAFE at DHR, Yvonne. Fuerza del Valle, Rosa San Luis. TRLA, Alejandra Torres. From Lupe, Martha Sanchez. Tamers Tapestry, Mando Roel. Survivors of homicide victims as well. We have some family members that would like to address the Commissioner's Court. But again, thank you. This is a team that we've built, and we're going to continue growing to again give that service to the victims that they so much deserve. And again, we will keep growing here in here at the District Attorney's Office to make sure that we're efficient and effective when we're prosecuting these cases. And again, it means a lot that you give us your cooperation and your support. So thank you. Thank you again. I'm going to call Ms. Rangel. Is Ms. Rangel here?
Good morning. My name is Marta Rangel. My daughter got murdered October 25th of 2013. She left a child behind. Now he's 7 years old. I'm part of the member of the Rio Grande Valley Friends of Murdered Children. It was established in 2014 in memory of Roger Garcia. He got murdered by his wife. I have other members that came. My mom and Miss Avitia, her son got murdered. Also, Jolisa Zal is here, her stepmom. We just need your support. We had a walk, the second annual year walk this Sunday, April the 8th. And I would like to thank the DA and the crime victims to go support us, that they support us. We do it every year. We don't only want, to help out homicide. We also support the child abuse, domestic abuse, trafficking, human trafficking, any lives taken from an act of violence. Keep us in prayers. I haven't given up. One of these days, we're going to get those 3 cowards that have taken my daughter away. This is a tragedy. I made it into positive, and I'm not giving hope. We're here from the heart.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rangel. We also have Mr. Belmares, who also will. I'm sorry. So we have Mr. Jimenez, who will address the Commissioner's Court.
Good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Jose Angel Jimenez, Sr. My wife, Dora R. Jimenez. We're here to speak out for the voice of my son, Sergeant Jose Angel Jimenez. He was employed for Army for 13 years, deployed twice to Iraq, got wounded, came back. He was serving his country, and he got killed in Alabama. And we're here for his voice to speak out. And good luck that Mr. Rodriguez got Rosa Martinez to take care of the office. She's been there for us 100%. Rodriguez been there, the staff, they've been involved with Rosa Martinez being there for us. And thank you very much to have your support too, you know. And we're going to go back to Alabama and finish fighting the court. We've been fighting this court for 4 years, and it's different. Alabama and Texas is different, but he got guilty and he violated probation. So Sunday we're going to go back to court and see him be justice and serve time. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Again, Judge, Commissioners, this is how professionals, organizations, and communities, come together and work together for one ultimate reason, and is to reach all the victims. So, again, we will continue to fight the good fight, and we will continue to comply with our duties and responsibilities. And again, none of this could have happened without your support. Right, so thank you very much. Anyone else, Rosie, that wants to address Commissioner's Court? I did ask. No, she's good. Okay. Chief?
Good morning. So, as you can imagine, this will be my second week at the Wesco Police Department. And it's a little bit like drinking from a fire hose when you're taking over a new organization. But I came for one reason. I believe in what the District Attorney's Office is doing. And in the past, every individual agency has kind of gone their own way. I have to commend the DA in undertaking this project, and essentially what he's provided is leadership to all the other crime victims liaisons, and the ability to have someone to lean on when it becomes difficult or the task becomes overwhelming. And so the reason I took time out of my day to come here was to be able to support this endeavor, because as police officers, one of the things that we take with us is the horror stories, and some of these people had to share their story on what it is they go through once the crime has been committed, and in the past we weren't able to give services to support what they're going through, and now we can, thank you to the District Attorney for that leadership. I would submit to you that it's not only a legal obligation, but it's a moral obligation to provide these services. So for that, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Again, thank you for your time, Judge, Commissioners. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here with us and for everyone that joined us. So, again, once again, thank you for your full support and your cooperation. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, and everyone else for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, if you can all bear with us, we're going to arrange this group for a photo. Commissioners Court, if you could step up out front. We're going to put some chairs here. And you can sit with the Commissioners Court in front. And then everybody in the back.
I think you're right.
Some chairs in front.
Standing up here.
Vamos a acabar qué es lo que pasa aquí. ¿Verdad?
We have room behind the dais. If you're in the back, we won't be able to see you, but some of you can get behind the dais if you'd like. Okay. Okay, look at the photographer, please, and if you can't see her, arrange yourselves between shoulders.
Everybody please look forward and smile. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3, please. Cheese.
Thank you. Oh.
Judge.
12-8. Do it?
All right, we're going to be moving on, and we're going to be taking an item out of order, item number 12A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jose Caso on behalf of Hidalgo County Precinct 4. Commissioner Palacios is unavailable to be here because he's at the Walkability Action Institute representing the COG, the MPO, and the county. But he did have this item. So item 12A, acceptance of resignation of Martina Gonzalez Wright, board member of Tropical Health Behavioral Health Board.
Move approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 12A2, appointment of board member Arden Dingle to the Tropical Texas Behavioral Health Board, and we have her right here.
Move approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And if Ms. Dingle would want to share some words.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm Terry Crocker. I'm the CEO of Tropical Texas Behavioral Health, the local mental health authority for the Rio Grande Valley. Is with thanks for your endorsement of Commissioner Palacios' nomination of Dr. Dingle to our board. Dr. Arden Dingle has a booklet of accolades and successes throughout her academic and professional career. She is a professor of psychiatry and division chief at University of Texas Rio Grande Valley Medical School, and perhaps most importantly, out of all of her achievements, from my perspective, she is responsible for the creation and implementation of the psychiatry residency program for the UTRGV Medical School. We look forward to having her on our board and welcome her. Thank you. Dr. Dingle.
Thank you for this appointment. It's an honor and a privilege, and I look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to take a picture.
We're back to item number 7. Are you Executive Office.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. No action under items 7A, 1 and 2. Item 7B, asking the court to accept a settlement check from Pronto Insurance Company in the amount of $924.05, and this will settle an auto accident with one of our county vehicles.
Who's going to play the Pronto man? Valde.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 7C is approval. I'm asking the court to approve a settlement check from Auto Club County Mutual Insurance Company in the amount of $712.50, and this will settle an auto accident with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. Siguero.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Raul Siguero from the Department of Human Resources. Judge, Commissioners, I have an item on the agenda where we'll be asking the court to approve the reinstatement of the classification and compensation plan, popularly known as the grade and step or step and grade. Before I go through the actual items, I wanted to go and give you a little overview. You should have a binder or that looks like this.
Yeah.
And Judge, one of the considerations that you and I had discussed was that you were concerned that the implementation of this plan would be a costly endeavor, or might be a costly endeavor, and I pledged to try to keep the costs within the current budgeted salaries. That first page, the first tab, which is titled Classification Compensation Plan, General Fund Key Figures. Judge, the general fund budgeted salaries currently for 2018 is $97,051,685. After we convert to the step and grade, with all the adjustments up and down, Judge, the salary budget will be $97,037,506, a reduction of $14,179. It's a small reduction overall, but like I mentioned before, the intent was to stay within the dollars, and we have been able to do that. In order to do that, Judge, there were over 500 positions that were budgeted or whose salary was less than step one of the classified grade. In other words, they were making less, they were underpaid. And we adjusted all those positions up at a cost of $580,000. However, we adjusted positions down that were budgeted at a higher than what their step, to the tune of $610,000.
Positions that were not filled, right?
Positions that were filled or not filled, both. There were some where the budgeted salary was higher than their actual, and we.
Are you reducing people's salary?
No, sir.
No, that's what I mean.
No, no. The budgeted amount may have been higher than their actual salary.
Ah, okay, that's the
Yes.
budget, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, no, we didn't reduce anybody's salary. Nobody's salary was reduced. Everybody stayed at their same salary. We placed them at their proper grade and in the step that was commensurate with their salary. So nobody's salary was reduced.
And actually, what you did was you swept the whole.
Yes, sir. Yes, to use that so we can stay within the dollars. If you look at the side, the numbers at a glance part is we have 3,134 positions in the county. Of those, 2,797 are classified. About 2,000 will be under this plan. The other 700 and change are classified under the sheriff's step and grade. They have actually rank and grade. They have a deputy sheriff, sergeant, senior deputy sergeant, and so forth. They have been under that plan since 2005. We have 337 positions that will not be classified because by statute we cannot. That would be the juvenile probation employees, the county auditors, and the court reporters. Basically, those are the positions that are not classified. Their salaries are set by the Board of Judges. If we go to the next tab, just to illustrate, Judge, this is where the positions, it looks like this with the yellow line. Basically, this is where all the positions fell based on their grade and on their salary. For example, if you look at grade 4, there's a total of 76 positions that classified at grade 4. 28 of them were making less than step 1. 5 of them ended up in step 2, 5 in step 3, 13 in step 4, 14 in step 5, and so forth. So they're spread out based on their salary for that grade. The key figure here that I wanted to point out is step 6 is the midpoint, because we have 11 steps, so step 6 is the midpoint. If we total up all the positions that are below step 6, Judge, 1,741, or 88% of the positions are below the midpoint. In other words, our salaries are not out of control. Our salaries are not above the midpoint. Almost 90% are at the midpoint or below. So I think that's an important number, Judge.
Either that, or there are some salaries that are just, well, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, in other words, the people on step 7, 8, or 9, you would think they're overpaid. Well, they may be making high salary for that grade, but that may be because they have been here a long time and they've gotten raises over the years. There's any number of reasons. But when those positions become vacant, Judge, the new person will be hired at step 1.
Yeah.
So we're going to see savings as these people retire or get reassigned or get promoted. That position will be filled at step 1, not at the budgeted salary like it used to be. So that will be some savings, ongoing savings. Judge, we have I developed new or revised our policies and procedures that we had from the last time, and I have the table of contents. The policies are included in there, but they're kind of lengthy to read. I just wanted to go over the table of contents because I can explain a little bit about the plan. The objectives of the plan, Judge, was to have equal pay for equal work, that employees are paid equitably and fairly across the board, regardless of what department they work. If you have a clerk 3 in one department, they should make the same salary as a clerk 3 in another department. Before this, or without the step and grade, salaries are set on an ad hoc basis based on the determination of the department head. So there's no standards. With this, there will be standards, Judge. The plan has provisions for improving the movement of people for vacancies. For example, we have about almost 100 what we call career ladder positions, where people are a budget analyst 1, budget analyst 2, 3. When the 3 leaves, the department head can promote the 2 to the 3 and the 1 to the 2. If they choose, it's an option, and then post the vacant position, the 1, the lowest level, so that we don't have take months to finally fill a position. Normally, right now, we post a 3, takes 3 months to fill, then we post a 2, takes 3 months to fill, and so forth. So this will speed up the filling of positions as vacancies occur. Discretionary steps under the plan, Judge, we wanted to be flexible when we met with committees, and we have listed 4 discretionary steps. In other words, that the elected officials or department heads will have some flexibility to recruit people that may have superior skills or experience or education. So we're not limited to step 1, for example. So if a person has skills that are above the minimum qualifications, and they would be good for the department or for the precinct or the court, they can be hired at step 2. The department head can request that they be hired at step 2. We have a discretionary step for professional positions like lawyers, engineers, nurses. We always have a hard time filling those jobs, so we have a discretionary option there for those positions where they can be hired up to step 4. In other words, if there's a range, we can hire them at 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the need of the department and the skills and the qualifications and experience. I met with the district attorney. He wanted flexibility to hire highly qualified and experienced attorneys for felony cases and so forth. So for the district attorney, we have discretionary steps up to 5. He could hire an attorney at step 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, up to 5. He has that discretion. He can request the court. All of this will be requested, and I will be bringing to court any requests for the discretionary step. It's not an automatic. The court will be approving those. Within step increase, within grade step increase, Judge, you and I had talked about merit raises. That's how do we move people from one step to another. You know, the whole intent of the steps is to reward people for performance, for good behavior, for tenure, and so forth. And we used to have merit before, but merit is very subjective. And we actually, Judge, when the initial plan was in place, we never moved anybody from one step to another. You know, in 2.5 years, because we had a hard time, one with funding and two with identifying the merit situation. So what I'm proposing here is a more objective kind of system. It's called a within grade step increase that has three factors. It has to have good performance, it has to have good behavior, and it has to have some a waiting period, time and step. Good behavior meaning we're going to have a 12-month look-back period. Whenever we do the budget, when we're in the budget process, during the month of August, we're going to review all the positions, all the staff, and the ones that have no disciplinary actions going back 12 months, reprimands, demotions, suspensions, those people will not be eligible for this. They will be not eligible. People who don't have the time and grade, the time and step, will not be eligible. And finally, the department head or the elected official will certify upon the performance of the person, and then those persons, we will do the tally, we will do the costing, and in September, we would then budget for that amount, and then those people would get the step increase in January. So it would be budgeted if we had the funding. It would be subject to funding, obviously. My calculations on the tenure of the people and is roughly maybe 1/3 of the staff would be eligible for this step increase in any 1 year. And so you can get an idea as to out of the 2,000 and change under this plan, 1/3 would be eligible.
May I ask you a quick question on that?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
going to start the waiting period now?
No, sir. It'll be in 2019. In August of 2019, we're going to look back 12 months so that any step increases will be approved in the next budget.
But you're going to consider the period that they were already occupying this position starting now, or because some people have already been in those positions for years?
Right.
Are you going to start the waiting period now that we're approving this? Or
Yes, the waiting period starts now. Yes, I mean their time, the clock, their step time, it starts right now. Yes, when we approve the plan, absolutely. Yes, sir. The cost of living, just to explain. We have under the plan. We traditionally the court is requested or proposed to the budget office normally proposes a cost of living increase whenever inflation has eroded employees' salaries. Inflation is pretty much under control, but in the past it wasn't so much. A COLA is across the board. It means that we're compensating employees for their loss in purchasing power. So if the court approves a 3% cost of living increase, a COLA, because of inflation, then the pay table will change 3% across the board. Everybody stays where they are, they stay in their grade, they stay in their step, but they get that 3% increase because of inflation. The table will change. So that the COLA just applies for across the board kind of changes, and the table will be adjusted for that percentage, whatever it is, 2%, 3%, whatever it is. And that's separate from the step increase. We have lateral transfers. That's a normal thing. The plan administration will be administered jointly by the HR department and the Department of Budget and Management. The Department of Budget and Management maintains the salary schedule, so we'll be working with them and gathering all the data that we need to make whatever things need to be done to administer the plan. We have the classified position list. There's a total of 457 positions that are classified. It's included in there. It's listed in alphabetical order. We have placed every position in a grade, and we have the starting salary, which is a 1. And the starting salaries, let me assure you that we have gone across the state to make sure that these salaries for every grade are similar to or competitive with the private sector, the public sector at the state level or at the federal level. So an accountant 3 in our county makes the same salary as an accountant 3 at the state government or in the private sector generally. And we will continue to monitor the market to make sure that our salaries are competitive and that we're able to recruit the kinds of people that we need.
I've got a question. What about the at-will employees that every precinct or everybody has?
They're classified. Everybody's classified. They're classified, yes, sir. The at-will primarily relates to the civil service, where you can appoint them, and they have no civil service protection such as a grievance. But they're classified for salary purposes.
Out of all the employees that you analyzed, was there anybody that was really way out of their step and grade, like they were paid more than they should have been paid?
Let me see. Look at the first page.
And the reason I'm asking is, will the COLAs apply to them?
If you're in step 11, if you're in the last step, the COLA, you will get a COLA because the whole table will change. So you will get a COLA. Nobody will ever be denied a COLA. But if you're on the last step or beyond the step, if there's a step increase, you're not going to be eligible. You have to be below the last step to be eligible to get a within grade step increase.
So they would have to move a grade in order to get it?
Yes, you would have to get promoted. You would have to be promoted. When I was at the state, I was at grade 21, step 11 for like 10 years because I got promoted fairly fast, and I was at the last step, and for 10 years I couldn't get any raises unless it was a cost of living adjustment. I mean, that's just an example of how that would work.
That answers. Thank you.
Now, on the next step is actually the policies and procedures. I provide them, Judge, so that these will be posted on our website. The salary table is another tab. On the salary table, just to go over it again, there's 11 steps, 21 grades. There's 3.5% difference in salary by step. Every step is 3.5% an increase. Step 2 is 3.5% greater than step 1, and so forth. And there's 8% differences between grades. So you can see on the step that the part that's yellowed out on the table. You see the table where they have those salaries are not. We're not going to use those salaries because they're below the 12-hour minimum wage that the county has adopted, has approved. The last step is a list of the positions. There's, like I indicated earlier, there's 457 positions that have been classified. They're in alphabetical order. They'll be posted on our website, and we will continue, Judge. We will continue to work on the job descriptions. We will continue to work on the titles. The district attorney has asked me to continue working with him to make sure that we have flexibility for him in terms of titles and positions. There's departments that require additional work. The health department, they have a lot of positions, and I'll be working with them, not so much on salary changes, but on getting the titles correct in terms of the functions they do, and so that we can better classify them, Judge. That's generally the overview I wanted to provide, Judge. The plan that we initially implemented back in 2010 was suspended in 2012 because there were some issues, and I think we have addressed those. I would like to, if there's not any more questions, I would like to present the actual items for consideration.
When does this become effective?
It would become effective, Commissioner, on the first pay period after this meeting, which will be April 30th.
So we still have a chance to do some changes if we want to?
Yes, sir. There's some emergency kind of things we can do that. It'll be effective April 30th. I have to go to Civil Service on the 19th. They meet once a month. Civil Service has to approve the policies and procedures. So, yes, sir.
Well, you need action for which number?
No, all of them, sir. Can I read?
Yes.
I read? Okay. Item 8A, 64373, number 1, approval to reinstate the Hidalgo County Classification and Compensation Plan, suspended on November 20th, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number two, approval of the Hidalgo County Classification and Compensation Plan Policies and Procedures, pending approval by the Civil Service Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item three, approval of the Classification and Compensation Plan Salary Table, which was revised August 14, 2017.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
We
carries.
revised the table when the court approved the $12 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah.
But everything is consistent with what you presented today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Item four is approval of the classification plan position list, classified position list, including assigned pay grades
Move for approval.
Second.
and related job
Those
descriptions.
in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number five, approval of the classification and compensation plan revised salary schedules effective 4/30/2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item six, we're going to take no action. The budget office and the auditor's office will be working on doing all the salary adjustments that need to be made, and they have agreed to do that, so we need no action on that. Number seven is approval to submit the plan revisions to the Civil Service Commission.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, I thank you.
You need to be thankful. I know it was a complex set of circumstances. Thank you for all the work you put into it, and the only thing missing is Virginia Townsend being present,
right,
so that she could hear the vote being taken.
I appreciate it, Judge. I want to say I need to thank the budget office and staff, Claudia, Mircate Garcia, Claudia Flores, and we have Debbie Tamez, Damaris San Miguel, who's in the hospital with cancer, has even helped me from afar. So we have a lot of people that have helped us, and I appreciate the help, and I thank you for the vote. Thank you.
If they can stand up just to be recognized, because it's a big effort.
Tamez, Amanda de la Peña, Katia, Tia, and Claudia Flores. I also want to acknowledge County Clerk Arturo Guajardo, Commissioner Joseph Palacios also were involved in helping me deal with the departments and the issues that arose, and Commissioner Cantu, and I thank you.
Yeah, I also want to thank Arturo Guajardo for his effort and his work, and Commissioner, because there was a lot of work, and we dealt with a lot of different departments that had issues, and I'm glad everything was able to get resolved, and this thing was finally able to be put into place.
Yes,
So
and I want to just tell the court that this is an evolving plan, and we're going to continue to improve it as we move along, make the job descriptions better, make the titles better, the processes better, so that it's something that is useful and fair to the county. Not just for now, but for a long time to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have a few more items. Item B, we need a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments for the personnel items that are listed below.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item C is approval of the following personnel actions effective 4/30/2018. This is only a position title change for the elections department. Mrs. Ramon wants to change the title, or needs to change the title of slot 0137 from Field Service Specialist 2 to Elections Data Specialist, same salary.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 2 Parks, every year Precinct 2 opens the swimming pool, and we hire temporary lifeguards and attendants. So the Precinct 2 is asking approval to create the following part-time temporary positions not to exceed 12 weeks, effective May 29, 2018 through August 13, and that would be slot T, temporary 047, head lifeguard at $15 an hour. 3 lifeguards, slots 48, 49, and 50 at $12 an hour, and 2 attendants, slot 51 and 52 at $12 an hour, subject to funding. This will be subject to funding.
Second. Approval.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
For the countywide mechanic shop, And approval of the following personnel action effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. I need to make a correction. It's not effective 4/30. It's effective today if the court approves it. The countywide shop is responsible for the maintenance of heavy equipment, and they service all the precincts. They have a difficulty in terms of getting good mechanics. We had some mechanics, 3s and 2s, and they need a higher level of skill, higher level of experience. So Commissioner Precinct 2 is requesting that we delete slot 6, mechanic 2, slot 8, truck driver 3, and slot 12, mechanic 3, and that we create instead 2 mechanic 4, slot 13 and 14 at $46,624 a year.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Item 9, our Health Department.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Very quickly, sir, I just want to come forward and acknowledge and thank you all before I put my items on here. Each of you got a little certificate there of appreciation and a token for the All Hazards Conference that took place. I'd like to thank Commissioner Gansu for doing the welcome. It was extremely well attended. Over 3,000 people attended, and there was a significant savings across the Rio Grande Valley and South Texas to the taxpayers because you don't have to travel to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio to provide over 62 different presenters and training and hours and TCOL hours, 19 hours of TCOL. So that was very handy and very supportive. I want to thank you all for that, and that's just acknowledgement of thanks for you all. Item 9A, sir, under Health Care Funding District, we don't have any particular items unless you all have any questions or concerns in regards to that item. And then under Indigent Health Care Program discussion and action, including but not limited to health care program, we're moving forward with our programs and things are going well in that direction. Unless you have any questions or items you have in that area, we don't have anything to discuss.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Item 10, adult probation. Anyone here representing the Adult Probation Office? Let's move on to item.
I think Cedric was coming.
Oh,
you coming up for them?
All right, Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 11A, we're requesting authorization to approve and execute the right-of-way easement agreement for utility access submitted by Hidalgo County Precinct Number 2 by North Alamo Water Supply Corporation.
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 11B, requesting approval to accept a donation of salvage materials from TxDOT to repair and replace a damaged metal beam guard fence for a bridge located on Moore Road, approximately 800 feet west of South Nebraska Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Item 11C, requesting approval to accept a donation of a little free library with books. The little library also includes the books from Girl Scout Troop 430.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move back to item 10.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 10A1 is approval to accept additional funds for the RSAT grant from the Office of the Governor in the amount of $44,526.28.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 10A 2 and 3 is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds in the amount of $33,394.71 and the cash match of $11,131.57. This is for the RSAT grant.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 13A1 is approval to deobligate cash match funds from the Health Department grants, Fund 1293, and appropriate into the Countywide Administration Contingency Fund, Fund 1100, in the amount of $30,210, and this is for fiscal year 2017.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 11A2, also for fiscal year 2017, is approval to deobligate cash match funds from Fund 1286 and appropriate into the countywide administration contingency account in the amount of $2,516.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 13A3, A and B, is approval of certification of revenues certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds into the Precinct 1 Monte Alto ISD ICA account in the amount of $46,531.78.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 13A4 is approval of 2018 appropriation of funds from special revenues and internal revenue service funds in the total amount of $2,852,512.34. And this is to fund various PO rollovers.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Next item, purchasing.
She back to fall.
Okay.
Okay, Martha Salazar, Purchasing Department, 14A, acceptance of the sole response received to be deemed as qualified for award for expansion of the title company services pool as listed on the exception sheet attached here too, and approval of the contract under the RFP number 079.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B is approval of the contract with Sierra Title of Hidalgo County in connection with the expansion of that title services pool.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is presentation for consideration, acceptance, and approval of the expansion of the professional services pool as the county commissioners had authorized, and it's for the items through A, B, C, and D, which are architectural, engineering, geotechnical, and construction materials testing, and construction management services, respectively.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
On item B1, Precinct 2, requesting approval of the purchase of 2018 Gomeco GT360 curb and gutter machine through the county's participation through the co-op, which is the buy board through TASB, contract number 51516 in the amount of $278,400. The concern here was funding, and I don't know if that was already addressed. Sergio, was that that's been addressed? Okay, so we will proceed with that. I need approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
C1, Precinct 4, this is requesting approval work authorization number 2 in the amount of $299,967.31 under contract number on-call agreement with B2Z, engineering service provision, environmental public involvement, schematic hydrologic, pavement design, PS&E, and utilities for Seminary Road.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Item 2, no
carries.
action. We have found there was a concern about these invoices being placed as claims. However, we found a solution. It will be addressed. They will be processed for payment, so no action is required. Item D1, for Colonia Access Program for Precinct 4. This is A, acceptance and approval of professional engineering services project-specific agreement with SAMS Incorporated for the provision of Round 3 Ware Country Subdivision. Precinct 4.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B is approval of work authorization 1 in connection with project-specific agreement with the proposed fee of $6,837 with SAMS to provide plans and as stated on the agenda for that Ware Country subdivision.
Is that for $6,834.11 or
$6,834.11.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C is acceptance of approval professional engineering services project-specific agreement with Quintanilla Headley and Associates, provision for the Green Valley Development Subdivision located in Precinct 4.
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And D is approval of work authorization 1 in connection with agreement as stated on the agenda with proposed fees of $10,700 with Quintanilla Headley and Associates, also for Green Valley Development Subdivision, which is project specific.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Under open forum, did anyone sign up?
There's one participant, Ms. Fern McClarity.
Good morning. I know you are all saying, here she comes again telling us what we already know. But what if, for one moment in time, we could change places? And I was the one paying and working with senators and state representatives to create laws to take more money from you. What if I was the one that could decide to build a courthouse when 50% of the building was vacant and the district judges only come to work some of the time? I would bet you would be unhappy too. But this is not the end. What if I told you that the courthouse was going to cost $150 million and that your tax rate would not be increased? What if, not so secretly, I refinanced the existing debt and increased the courthouse fees and even created laws that would charge more if you did not pay on time? My question is, would you be unhappy? The people from this nonprofit corporation do not seem to understand that the actions of this commission are making it extremely difficult for them to keep their homes. The people in Hidalgo County cannot afford to pay for toll roads, hospital districts, medical school, a courthouse, and related facilities. TERS projects that allow major businesses to use tax money to improve their facilities. 40% of our people are living in poverty, and our schools are creating summer feeding programs for the students. Do you not feel responsible for what you are doing to our people? And the second thing I wanted to talk to today you put someone on the board of the Texas Tropical Behavior Health Clinic. And what I would like to know, I was in a courtroom the other day, and how are the county deputies are treated at the Tropical Texas Center? What size of office space is furnished for them? I know the answer. I heard in court. It's 8 by 10. What are the rules for the deputies that are stationed there? And why are our deputies stationed at this place? This room is 8 by 10. There are 4 desks, 4 chairs, 1 filing cabinet, and computers and office supplies. The room is too small, because in this case that I was listening to, obviously they bumped into each other accidentally because the room they had to work around. That's not true. So y'all need to check on this to see why y'all allow this person that came today, y'all thought was so wonderful. How about each and every day when one of the deputies from the constable's office and whatever that has to go there did not have room to move around in the office? So please check on that for them. Thank you.
All right, at this time, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections 551071 and 072, I need a motion to proceed to executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We will be in executive session.
All right,
we're back in open session.
Judge, Commissioners, under open session, well, just for the record, there is no action under item 17 to be taken today. That would be 17A and B. There is no action to be taken.
So that's closed session, 17.
No. 17, item 16 was closed session. 17, 17A,
Oh, okay.
17B, there was no action.
You're correct.
And under item 18A, open session, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, we'll just proceed as directed. Item 18B, pending and or potential litigation, 2020 census. There's no action to be taken today. Item C, cause number CCD-0402-F, State of Texas and Hidalgo County, Texas versus Marcos F. Lopez and Maria Olga Lopez et al. Judge Commissioners, I'd like for the court to consider and to enter a settlement agreement and general release of claims with respect to cause number CCD-0402-F, State of Texas and Hidalgo County, Texas versus Marcos F. Lopez and Maria Olga Lopez et al.
I move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 18D, claim of Carlos de la Cruz. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offering amount of $1,152.97.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
There's nothing, there action to be taken under item 19, item 20, and we do have Commissioners Court next week on the 17th.
Motion adjourned.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Lovely, thank you, gentlemen. Do we have a meeting next week?
Yes.